Approval of the agenda as it's presented.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We need approval of minutes from February 3rd, 2025.
A motion to approve.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. First item on the agenda is public hearing fiscal year 25 budget amendment. Courtney, did you want to touch base on this?
So actually, for the budget amendment, there's just two things. We're putting in an additional $20,000 in the medical examiner line. We've already exceeded budgeted amounts, unfortunately. The other is capital projects. When Jamie was here, he mentioned that some of the stuff may be coming in this year. And they were getting a discount by paying early. So we're not 100% sure that the expenses will happen in fiscal 25, but wanted to make sure the money was in his capital fund if it does come in. So this is just moving some money or just allocating the money. It's already in there in his capital fund, but in case it comes in, then we can spend it. That's 187,000. Obviously, if it doesn't come in fiscal 25, it'll get paid in fiscal 26, but so total is $207,000. 20,000 of that is just the general basic fund. So that's all I have, unless anybody has questions.
According to today's payables, you got half that used up right in the medical examiner.
Yep.
Well, we did have a little bit in there yet, but hopefully this will carry us through to the end of the year, but it might not.
The hearing's open, right?
Yeah, just need to
Do we
close
need to
it at
close
some
it out?
point. Yeah.
Did any comments?
comment from
Written
the public?
comments?
No comments.
All right, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. All right. You don't need a motion, do you, Courtney?
No, the approving it'll actually happen in the appropriations resolution.
All right, item number 2, approve appropriations resolution for that said budget amendment.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second, and it's a resolution, so roll call.
Houseman,
Yes.
Miners,
Yes.
McCray.
Yes.
Hey, motion carries.
All right, item number 3 is secondary roads. We have 4 subsections. Review and approve 2025 limestone quotes. Review and approve gravel contract with Stratford Gravel and Sparks Pit. Review and approve gravel contract with Stratford Gravel for Kate's Pit. And then a department update. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning. So about 2.5 weeks ago, I sent out information to some proposed potential vendors for hauling some limestone rock into our county shop. As we have done in previous years, nothing different from that. 8,000 ton of rock, that's what we were looking for. Received quotes back from 6 different vendors. The low quote from Matt Meister of $21.50 a ton. Seemed pretty competitive. Was a small increase from last year, but I know rock has gone up from last year, so expected that, I guess. Guess any questions on that quote?
You said 8,000 tons?
8,000 ton.
Well, this is normal stuff we do this time of year. I guess I'll make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? So you're looking at 172,000.
That's, I don't have the
Roughly.
That sounds right.
Was 172.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Second item on the list was the gravel contract with Stratford Gravel for the Sparks Pit. As you might remember, this was last year was the first year they started in this pit, in this new location. Produced some pretty good gravel, had some, a lot of decent rock in it. Not as many fines as what has been in the past in that area. So looking to get another 80,000 ton out of that. They're looking to go back in there and produce sometime this spring or early summer, so.
Is there, we've got most everything used up from last year, so you're just replenishing that?
There's a little bit left at that pit. I mean, we do have gravel in other locations, but trying to, I guess, when they go into that pit, we would like to make sure we're getting some gravel from there, because it's right in the neck of the woods where we don't have to haul as far. So it's a very ideal place when it comes to that. So
Okay,
trying to stay ahead of the game.
And there's enough rock in there then to keep crushing and make a good problem?
There's a decent amount of rock, and then some of the larger, like say 2 or 3 inch material that's in it gets recrushed in there to help provide that. The gradations last year came back very well, so.
I'll make a motion and we go ahead and approve the purchase of the 80,000 tons at 810 from the Sparks pit.
and I'll second.
You said that was 810.
8.
Yeah, 810.
810 ton.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The next gravel contract is for at the Kate's Pit, excuse me. This is, we are adding 10% limestone into this. It's what we've done, I think the last 2 times we've gotten material out of Kate's. It's been at least twice or 3 times we've gotten gravel from that location. Again, a little bit further north, but definitely good gravel, and so worked out very well using in the kind of the north part of the county.
I see there's quite a bit of difference in, is it because it's mixed with limestone, is why it's more expensive?
It is the limestone cost of getting it there and crushing it in adds into that. This gravel without the limestone would probably be cheaper than the stuff down to the south, so. But
So they do all that for us, and they,
yeah, they
Mix them
haul
together.
they haul the material in and they crush it as they go, so it's uniformly mixed with the gravel.
is that a kind of a better base than the just straight gravel because of the limestone in it?
It depends on how much rock is in the gravel that you're producing. If there's enough rock in it, then the limestone isn't necessarily needed. But we found that there's enough benefit in it to try to pay a little bit more for better gravel when it's all said and
So you're
done.
getting better bang for the buck, kind of what I'm getting at there.
Right.
Okay,
Right, that larger gradation or that the bigger material does provide a good base.
all right, thank you.
How far into Sac County is this pit? I got trying to place where it's at. It's north of Auburn, isn't it?
Yeah, or if you would, instead of going like west to Lakeview on 175, you go like another mile north, and then it's off on the east side of the road. It's, would that be 7 miles into?
Okay, so you go from Auburn, on
You
the north
gotta
side,
go west.
go west?
Like if you went straight north of Tiefenthaler in
Yeah.
Rita, go up that road, go straight north there and
Okay.
continue north. And then it's just back to the east off of
So it's basically south of Lakeview, southeast of Lakeview.
straight east of Lakeview, east and at like a mile north of Lakeview.
And how much are you looking at getting?
60,000 tons is what we're looking at there. We do have some currently left on a pile there, but it'd be replenishing that pile essentially. We're continuing to haul off that pile right now, to haul it back to Carroll.
Do you have an idea on price?
$8.56 a ton is what that one is.
So that one's 856, and then the other one from Sparks for the 80,000 is 810.
$8.10 a ton, yep. That's why this one's a little bit more because of that limestone rock.
Yep.
Added in.
And we've been doing this a lot in order to make grade, some decent gravel, so.
It does make a difference. I think it really does.
Hope that limestone makes a good base in there. That maybe helps out a little bit.
It does. It's just having we've done it with limestone, we've done it with natural rock as well, adding that when that's available. It depends on what's available and what they have, but.
How's the future for these pits looking? And have you heard anything about unlimited or?
I mean, there's definitely a limit. I mean, they're always looking, but it's hard to find good gravel. I
Wow.
mean, it's. At some point in time, we'll have to. Hopefully find more and hopefully there's more out there, but.
I'll make a motion that we approve this contract by rock and limestone blend from Stratford Gravel.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Quick department update. As you probably remember, probably 4 months ago, 5 months ago, we talked about replacing our coverall structure on our salt shed. We did get the contractor in here last week and got that taken care of. So we do have our new roof on our salt shed. So nice to have that done. And it was, the back end wall was getting very bad, was failing. The top was not quite there, but getting very close. So got that all done and finished up, and hopefully we'll be good for a long time, weather permitting. Second thing, I guess, is just, it looks like it could be an active week for weather. So we'll see what the weather does, and whether small chances beginning of the week and a little better in the middle, and we'll see what comes out of that. But that's that time of year. So
Been pretty lucky so far.
Yeah, we've been pretty fortunate
We
this
have.
winter.
that's all I have, unless you have any other questions.
Nope, I
Thanks,
appreciate
Ben.
you coming in this morning and best of luck this week. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and skip item number 4, Manning Child Care fiscal year 26 funding request, and we will go to item number 5, approved payables. Did everybody have a moment to take a look? It's in the amount of $817,086.47. I didn't have a lot of questions, but you are right, Courtney, our medical examiner, or Jean, you made that comment, it was up again. There was quite a bit. And I saw the chassis was on there.
I was gonna, that one on our district court, that first one. Isn't that a lot of money? Is that for guardianship? That seems awful high. I mean, there may be some special circumstances.
I don't know without
That I'm not
looking,
aware of.
I don't know without looking at the actual bill.
Is that the one that Scott questioned last week? We were gonna put it back on until we found out a little more.
Not that I'm aware
Mm-mm.
of.
No,
Would you like me to go grab that bill or?
I wished I had called up and had you do that before earlier. I hate to have you run up there.
She can, if
It'll
you want to
take-
run up
it'll
there, you
take
can run
us-
up there and I can do the manure management
Okay.
annual updates. You guys want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna hold on one second for a question on a bill. And I will go into number 6, manure management annual updates. We have one for Alan Friedman, Noble, section 29, Newton's Township, no changes. Alan Friedman, section 27, Eden Township, he updated soil samples. PI 287, section 24, Glidden Township, added acres. 286 Finisher, section 5, Glidden Township, and produced an annual update. AJ Farm, section 1, Hayes Township, Crawford County, produced an annual update. And Woodford 750, section 12, Pleasant Valley Township, changed crop rotations, used manure analysis. And WJR Porksite 40, section 35, Arcadia Township had no changes. And we will wait on Courtney and we will discuss that final bill, and then we will have an update from the Manning Child Care Center, and then we'll go into committee reports.
bless you.
So sorry, excuse me.
on the back from the attorney. This was a juvenile case, so it is, we can't say the name.
Yeah.
But that explains it.
That explains a lot of it. That's, that's more than just normal filing documents in district court, so.
Makes sense.
That email explains a lot of my questions.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll move that we approve the claims for this period.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We can go into committee reports.
Okay, you want me to do the committee report?
Sure.
Tuesday, met with, one individual city council person from Carroll, had a little discussion. And also on Tuesday had CCGP, Lisa Robeck give a presentation there on fraud coalition that's in Carroll. Very interesting, tells about a lot of stuff that's going on in in the area, and it's real and it's here. Let's put it that way. And then Friday, I helped with a courthouse tour of those young people. I did some follow-up on some budget requests, and also I feel several phone calls in regard to the 2 mile area and also some various other things. This week I have a CCGB executive board meeting on Thursday, and Friday have a board orientation for new board members out at New Opportunities.
I have nothing going on this week other than I'm learning a lot about the budget, so I've asked Courtney a few questions and Green helped me out with a few questions. I'm trying to learn about the budget. No committee meetings at all this week, or last week, and this week I'll be on vacation, so I'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday, the 20th for our budget.
Perfect. All right, I can go. Last week I didn't have any formal meetings. I did have conversations with Region 12. We had a position to replace on our housing authority board. And he was going to speak with the person. We had a person in mind. This week I had the newspaper and radio, and then tomorrow I'm going to meet with Franzen and Jeff Collin and our IT department, Dalton, to do a courthouse walkthrough again for a safety update and kind of look at a couple different options as far as where we can go. And that is it. Courtney, what do you have for next week?
Real quick, Jean, you said new opportunity orientation. What'd you say right before that?
But board orientation for new board members. Oh, right before that, on Thursday, CCGP executive board meeting.
Okay, next week. I believe we're meeting on Tuesday,
Correct.
due to the holiday.
Oh, that's right.
Right now, all I have is the libraries will be here for their funding request. And then I have zoning. I know Scott had told me to put that on the agenda. It has to do with some of the properties that are in the 2 mile that we're gonna make some. I'm not sure how to word it right, but there's some zoning that's gonna remain how it is now on a few commercial
Yeah, I
properties
think
in the
it's
2
like
mile.
Quan Auto
Yeah.
Salvage and some of them.
Yeah, so I'll have better wording for that once I talk to Sarah, but that's all I have right now.
I guess we can go into recess until the Manning Child Care Center shows up.
What are,
Usually sign them, but it's up to you.
Oh, yeah, no,
If
you
that's
sign
okay.
it, that's good. Do you want us to do the signatures for the resolution?
yeah, I'll get that. I need to figure out which one. I cannot read that. There we go.
And we will go up to item number 4, the Manning Child Care Center fiscal year 26 funding request. Good morning, ladies. We're gonna go ahead and have ourselves introduce. We'll introduce ourselves and then we'll have you guys introduce. We do have 2 board members gone, Scott Johnson and Mike Anderson, but I'm Stephanie Hausman.
Gene Miners.
Mark McCray.
Nice to meet you guys. My name is Sarah Dahlgren. I'm the director of the Manning Child Care Center. And this is Paige Reynolds. She's the assistant director. Yeah, we are requesting the FY 26 funding for our center. We currently have a capacity of 108 children. Of that, we have 88 of those spots filled. There is like a room for 20 kids that we could put children into that we are choosing to not to. The space is not at all, ideal. It should not be a classroom, so we choose to leave that room vacant. We have 27 employees and then 5 seasonal employees. So we are fortunate to have a good amount of staff right now. Let me think what else. I know. We did just update a lot of our center. We call it the Great Flood of 24 because we were able to, it's not funny, but it is because we were able to install a wall protectant in all of our classrooms. So it's gonna, in the long run, be so much nicer for keeping those rooms clean. They're easy to clean. We just wipe them down, and then we were able to repaint all of our classrooms and add changing tables in a couple of our classrooms to make them more accessible for the the teachers in the room. Yeah, we just know childcare is so important in our communities. And so the funds that we receive from you guys really, really help us with ensuring that we can keep our doors open. Do you have anything?
How many kids did you say you're serving right now? 88?
Yeah, we have 88
And you
kids.
have room for how many?
We have room for 108 total. That's our total capacity. So we have an empty room right now, but we are choosing to keep it empty just because it's not ideal. Hmm.
Like right when you walk into our center, that would be
Yeah.
a classroom. Not,
Yeah.
not.
So are you at capacity then? Is that all the kids?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So technically we're at capacity. We do have a wait list. We have 27 infants that want to come into our center. We only have room for 12 of those. So there is an overabundance of babies coming in and we don't have anywhere to put them. So that unfortunately it's really hard when parents are calling me and asking for a spot for their babies and we don't have room for them. Unfortunately, we are only able to accept existing families' babies right now. So we do have 16 more that are older than a newborn. So our wait list is pretty significant at this point. So yeah, we have been working with First Children's Finance to look into like an after school program. So that would benefit us in the fact that we would be able to move our school aged kids out and then open up some space possibly for some babies. And then, that's where it starts. I always think we need babies to come in to keep us going.
So you're saying them 12 are going to be filled up by existing families right now?
Yes. So 12 of those 27.
So
Mhm.
my question to you, if you had room for those other 20 or more than those 12, how would you sort out between 27? Who gets those slots?
Yeah, it goes first come, first serve. So we
Okay,
have,
first come, first served?
yeah, we have
Okay.
some families tell us before they even know they're pregnant and it's actually, and they have to, because otherwise they don't get in. So yeah, if we know that they are wanting to have a baby, we, sometimes they'll be like, can you put us in? And I mean, we don't know if they're expecting or not, so we do. And then, yeah, first come, first serve. It's tricky. Hmm.
Just curious, did you guys email all your financial?
No,
Infor-
I absolutely can.
Yeah,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
will have to do that and you can go ahead and send it to Courtney.
Yeah.
And then how much are you guys requesting?
So I think last year we received 7,000, 7,500, I think is what we had gotten total. If it could
I
be
think that-
around that
that
amount.
may be what they requested, none.
I don't have the form in front of me.
I can tell you shortly.
Sorry, I don't normally come, so I'm like,
No, you're good.
just
So
wing it.
let's say it is 7,500. What are you
Yeah.
guys gonna do with those dollars?
Yeah, so that would go towards, so I am I think that childcare is so important and the teachers that are with those children are so important. So in order to pay those staff decent wages, we have to charge more money from families, and that isn't fair either to always request more money from families. So this funds would just go towards our everyday expenses that would be, absorbing some of that fall down. So we did raise our rates last June. We did just raise them. So currently an infant is $210 a week. In a small town, that's a lot of money if you're paying that weekly. If you've got 4 families or 4 kids in your family, you're paying sometimes like over $600, sometimes $700. That's a huge amount of money. So for us to keep asking for more money from the families is really tricky because they need to work to keep our communities running also.
And she's right, they did get 7,000 last year.
I
You're
think I
right.
thought it was something like
Is
that.
that what you're requesting this year or how much are you requesting?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, we're so grateful for you guys even considering us that if it's within your budget to help us in any way, we just really appreciate that.
Do you guys have any questions? I guess the only thing I'll say is, and I do appreciate daycare, we have a lot of funding requests from daycares, and I understand, I used to sit on the board for 6 years on a daycare board. I know the cycle that you guys have, there is economic impacts. If you can't get kids in, then it keeps it keeps adults away from working. My only concern is, and take this for what you will, and this is only my opinion. I personally don't love funding expenses because that's not sustainable. And we face challenges from our position, taking taxpayer dollars. Now, I assume we're going to probably take this out of the local option sales tax, which everybody puts into that pool. But if we don't do that, we have issues taking it from the taxpayers, paying for certain children that go to that daycare, but not children that go to other daycares.
Right.
So we do get some flack from that. But I will say, I appreciate everything you guys do. And going forward, only advice I would do is probably lean it more towards a project
Yeah.
so that it is more sustainable
Yeah,
than doing.
I mean, if we could go that direction too, we do need to replace our tile in our playground. So
Okay.
part of this funding could go towards that.
That would be my only, and I don't think I'm the only one that feels that way. That would
Absolutely.
be
No, I-
probably just some advice for you guys in the future.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
I have no other questions, for them, and I do appreciate you guys coming today. I see that might have been a little difficult for you, so you got to be careful this week. It looks like we might be getting some ice and snow.
I
But-
do have one question for
yeah.
you. Have you ever approached Crawford or any of the other adjoining counties next year? I know we bring that up every year.
So there is a new childcare center in Manila, which is, like 10 miles from us. So we have not requested any money from the Crawford County area or Shelby or anything. I know that we looked into it, but we have never requested it.
Do you have children that come from out of county?
We do.
You do?
Yes, we do. It's not a ton. We just have a couple families that come from that Manila area and then I think a couple possibly that are like on the line of like Audubon, but it's very, very insignificant. Mhm.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
We
you.
will probably be making more of a decision on the 20th. We're gonna have more in depth, and then after we make final decisions, we will let you guys know.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is too short. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.